Hello, I'm here with another video. So this morning, I woke up with a lot of thoughts in my head. And this is a subject that I was trying to avoid because I hate to cause fear in people, but it's no longer a secret. And I'm just looking at all these videos and people are just they're just getting sick, like physically sick, ending up in a hospital because they don't understand what's happening to them. Topic that I'm about to hit, which has to do with spiritual warfare or psychic attacks. I knew that something wasn't right. I knew that it wasn't natural. What I was feeling was not natural. The things that were happening, I just kept saying to myself, that is not natural. You know, something is wrong, like something is up, it's something else. And sometimes with this, you don't even know where it's coming from. It's hard to tell, and because someone could be doing it to you without unintentionally. Okay, so let me just talk about it. Spiritual warfare or spiritual attack. I found a definition here in was it thought.co, or I think I found it in somewhere in Wikipedia. It says it is the concept of fighting against the work of evil forces. That speaks for itself. Let's talk about psychic attacks first, right? Psychic attack, that also speaks for itself. You know, they're getting into your head. I want to put it in, not that I know sophisticated ways to put it, but in a simple term would be that they're getting into your head. So remember, your head tells the rest of you what to feel, what to do, what to smells good. It is your thought. It begins with a thought. So if they're messing with your psyche, you're gonna believe things that are not even there. And some people don't believe that these things really exist, but they do. A psychic attack is a negative energy that someone sends with the conscious or unconscious intentions to inflict harm upon another person, their life, or their family. Harm can be launched towards the emotional, physical, spiritual, or mental state of a person. Okay? Physical is the part that threw me off when I knew that. I know that they can, some people can control. Like there's a member of my family that I always suspected that knows how to do that. And not that she just does it. I think she does it. She's learned throughout the years that her thoughts, you know how they say manifest the things that you want? Well, you know that your thoughts are very strong. So if you are a certain age, you're older and you've seen that things that you've thought about has happened, I think you learn your mental power. So I think by now she's just doing it on purpose. Those negative energies are typically projected in the form of thoughts based on jealousy, envy, anger, and more. So, oh my God, I'm just so jealous that you have a new car or whatever. Your family looks happy. Those are negative, but it's not just having a thought. It's the intentions. That's why when I tell you that when you're cleaning your house from negative energies, or you don't just clean your house, you have to have the intention. So influences based around, this is long, so I'm just going to keep on reading. Influences based upon surroundings. A physical attack can be influenced by someone in their surrounding that they already know, including friends or family members, although it is not always intentional. These thought forms can be sent consciously or unconsciously. When they are sent unconsciously, the person sending the thoughts may be doing so without their awareness, and jealousy, envy, or anger is often the motivation behind it. A conscious attack is when someone deliberately means harm to someone else. It can be compared to black magic, witchcraft, and spell casting. It is widely believed that a psychic attack is less about the person being attacked than it is about the weakness in the attacker. So the attacker has a weakness like envy and jealousy and all that stuff is weakness. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're a confident person, you don't even think that someone else's stuff is better than yours. You know, and if you like it so much, go get it. These are reasons why someone might attack you physically. There are several motivations behind an attacker using physical force against their victim. The attacker is jealous. For example, the victim's life is progressing forward while theirs is stagnant. The attacker is envious of the victim's looks, career, life partner, or their environment. The attacker is living in their dark side at that moment. The attacker has a lack of self-conviction and is living in fear. Fear, man, it will do a lot of stuff to you. It is theorized that when negative energy is consciously sent to someone else with the intention of inflicting harm, then what is sent is exactly what would be attracted upon the sender in their own life. The universal law of karma states that what goes around comes around, multiplied. These are symptoms of a psychic attack. Having nightmares, dreaming very frightened and unpleasant dreams. Attacker front and center. What is that? Attacker? Seeing the attacker in a devilish way, either in dreams, meditation, or thoughts. Have I seen that? Feeling tired and depleted of energy constantly and for no reason. Having aches in the same place and time on a regular basis. Experiencing illnesses or pain in areas of weakness that the attacker is already aware of. Lack of concentration and feeling of laziness when it comes to completing daily tasks. Having unusual, painful, and even severe headaches accompanied by vomiting or dizziness. Questioning or doubting direction in life even after having been aware of direction before. Know what you want to do, know where you're going, know what you got to study, and for some reason, it's like, what? Why do I not have the motivation to do? Having the feeling of being watched and seeing shadows from the corner of the eyes, even when alone. I don't think I've seen shadows, but having feelings similar to a heart attack or the desire to commit suicide. How do you guard yourself against psychic attacks? Protecting yourself from psychic attacks is important, especially when it is affecting your daily life. So here are ways to stay safe. The very first thing, and I would say this, I knew this before I even read any of this. Becoming aware of the psychic attack through identification of the unusual events that are taking place in your life will help to diminish the effect of the attack. Knowing anything, like they say, like people who are addicted, admitting that you're addicted to it, then you could take, steps to rectify that. So here, becoming aware that something is not natural. This is not natural. What is going on? Admitting to yourself that it's, even if you don't believe in conspiracy theories and psychic attacks and stuff like this, start believing it, because something weird is going on. Ask for guidance. Ask a spirit guide or guardian angel to help stop the attack and create protection. If you was never spiritual or religious, I bet you'll get spiritual or religious right now, because there's got to be a higher power. Something's got to be stronger than us to fight this thing. And if you're trying to do it by yourself and not admitting to the fact that something is going on, you're not going to win. Okay? Refrain from mirroring the attacker's action. Avoid sending similar energies or thoughts to the attacker. Send a pure white energy of light directly from the universe, source, or God of personal belief. Meaning, what I think this means is don't wish them bad. You know how people say, bless your heart, stuff like that. Like, don't wish them bad upon them. Don't think like they think. Don't try to do stuff back to them. Just basically, what you should do is feel pity for them. And I think that is coming up. Send loving thoughts. I don't know. That's going to be hard for a minute, but eventually you're going to be like, you know, I feel bad for that person because they have really low self-esteem, low self-worth. You know, I have just basic stuff and you are envying me. Like, that's really sad if you think about it. Remember that the attacker is the weaker one. Instead of returning to thoughts of anger, hate, or fear, choose to feel compassion towards the attacker. This type of light, love, and blessings will help them see and heal their own darkness. So not only are you helping yourself, you actually helping this person as well. See, that's why I am the bomb.com, because once I knew what was going on, I took the necessary steps to protect myself. You could not get me to even believe in or, you know, that a crystal, I mean, you have to believe it. I mean, you put the power into this with your thoughts. So if you believe that these healing crystals can heal you, then they can do it. If you think, oh, they just stones or rocks or shit from the earth, okay, that's what they are. I mean, who else is gonna help you? You find your own way of healing, but you gotta heal from that, you know. Be strong. The most important way of staying safe from the effect of a psychic attack is to be emotionally strong and stable. Okay, so if you're sitting out there thinking that people are coming to get you, see, that's the effect of it. They want to make you paranoid. Remember, they're going into your head, so you no longer feel in control. You know, you're thinking that all these things that they want you to be afraid. You're gonna feel afraid. Your body is feeling different. Your head is feeling different. Your thoughts do. You're speaking differently. You don't even want to go outside. You think everyone is watching you. You're going. You know, you're acting crazy. And that's why you're so afraid. Like, okay, well, you feel inadequate because your thoughts are not natural. What you're feeling is not natural. It's someone else's energy being sent to you. The most, let's see, do not allow the other to identify with any personal fears. Okay. The most important way of staying safe from the effect of a psychic attack is to be emotionally strong and stable. Do not allow others to identify with any personal fears because this reveals weakness. Try to identify with internal emotional issues and fears with the goal to heal. This way, remaining protected from the emotional vulnerability, no, it doesn't say that. Emotionally vulnerable keeps the absorption and effects of negative energy to a minimum. People who believe that they are experiencing a psychic attack are often afraid to come forward for fear of not being believed. But there are some victims who know that there is nothing physically wrong with them and they are feeling one or more of these 7 signs of attack. I will tell you what I was feeling. I knew it wasn't natural, right? But I had constant headaches, so I was always taking Excedrin. My back would hurt in certain places. My chest would hurt. I would feel pain in this somewhere around my left breast. And my lower back. Did I say my lower back already? And sometimes my knees. But it would be weird because I'm like something. And then I started to gain weight really quickly. And all I was eating was an apple. I would eat breakfast like an egg and probably sausages. And then I'll eat an apple. But there were times when all I wanted to eat was sugar. And that's not me. Like all day, like I just want sugar, sugar, sugar. And I'm like, okay, something is happening. But I went and I got a complete physical and they found absolutely nothing. Okay? And I knew that was going to happen because someone already told me that. You're going to go to the doctor and you're going to get checked. And they're not going to find nothing. And that's exactly what happened. And, okay, so one Chinese study of a certain type of cancer and the risk factor associated with it concluded that a psychic attack was a factor that should be considered as a potential cause of poor health in a patient. Meaning, me, for example, to me that sounded like when I was eating sugar, a lot of sugar and stuff like that. That could have caused something in me. Because the psychic attack is, again, it controls your thoughts, your thinking, your motivation. The things that you would think about, they're being controlled psychically by someone else. That's what it is. A psychic attack is used to harm another person by manipulating and controlling them by sending negative energy towards them. The mental manipulation is done without your knowledge, and it can cause physical symptoms similar to an illness, as well as depressed mood, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts. If you have concerns about feeling any of these symptoms, seek a medical professional to rule out a physical illness, but also seek a psychological consultation to rule out mental problems as well. Once you know that these are not factors in your condition, seek to safely remove yourself from the person you suspect of psychic attacks. It can be your coworker, so sometimes you don't know, but you do know. But you only suspect them, so you're like, nah. Okay, in my life, like I said, that one person, I'm like, does she know? I think she knows what she's doing. And I don't think she necessarily tries to hurt certain people. I think it's just she's very envious. And that's how she causes these things to happen. But I've had other people around me. But, okay, the reason why I'm talking about this is because I've seen these videos about targeted individual. Those videos are my motivation for doing this. There are a lot of people that don't really know what's going on with them, and they really feel that this government would want to take their money, because they're about making money. Take their money and give it to someone, a lot of someone else's, so they can follow you. That's what they're... Okay. One of the symptoms of a psychic attack is all of a sudden, with your thoughts and everything else that's changing, the way you feel and the things that you're doing, your motivation, everything, you're feeling so exhausted. You are tired. And you just want to go to sleep. But with me, it started happening every afternoon around the exact same time, 12 o'clock. Doesn't matter how many hours of sleep I got, because I got good sleep on purpose. Because I didn't like just falling asleep in the afternoon. I had things to do. And I wouldn't sleep for like an hour or two. I would sleep for 4 or 5 hours in the afternoon. I always knew that it wasn't natural. I'm full of energy, and all of a sudden, I'm dozing off, and I'm like I just shut up something. You know, and then so I'll get up, like, let's say I will force myself up, and I'll get up like at 3 or 4, right? And then around 7 or 8 o'clock, I'm sleepy again, and I'm like, this is not right. This is not right. But this was towards the end, you know. Anyway, so when I say towards the end was when I found out what was going on. What I did was I started doing things differently. You know, I was working on cleansing my aura, my energy, my surroundings, my house, and everything else. But I wasn't really working on my mindset or my thoughts. I was really just... I think that's the last thing that I really focused on. Or maybe that was just my process. It's okay. So yes, you get sleep. So here's the story. Dion, renowned psychic and author of Psychic Self-Defense, says that she was attacked by a woman who used the power of thought manipulation to plant false ideas in her mind and convince her to give false testimony against a former co-worker. Oh, it sounds crazy, like it can't happen. Trust me, it can happen. After the woman told Dion that her vision of the truth was, what her version of the truth was, I don't know where I saw vision. She says to my intent. After the woman told Dion After the woman told Dion what her version of the truth was, she says, to my intense surprise, I found myself agreeing with her in a series of entirely baseless charges against the character of a man I had no reason to believe to be otherwise than perfectly straight. The same, basically, what she's saying is that she fabricated a story against a man that she didn't even know to be other than a good person. And right after she told that story, she fell asleep. It's not funny, but can you really believe that people can do this to you? You have to believe the idea. They want you to be paranoid. They want you to sound crazy. And then it could be the person that you least suspected to be, and it could be. It probably wasn't even started by the person that you thought started it. Now, another symptom is that you question your sanity. You start having negative thoughts that don't come from you. They're not naturally from you. Frightening dreams of being attacked. A violent nightmare may be a sign of a psychic attack. Feeling of being hypnotized. Extreme fear that are unrealistic. A rational explanation may not be evident to you when you feel frozen by fear. This is a similar feeling to a panic attack, but it can last much longer. Rapid breathing, panic attack, fast heartbeat, sweating, and nervousness, all symptoms of anxiety. You feel much better after a shower. That, I'm going to tell you, is true. Burning white sage can be used to cleanse the space around you and negative energies. I did that a lot. That's the first things that I did. When the smoking bundle of sage around your home, wave the smoking bundle of sage around your home as you invoke positive energy and tell the negativity of the psychic attack to leave. Yes, but the first part that I read to you was from thoughtco.com, and the second part is from powerofpositivity.com. So let me talk a little. So what I'm saying is that get happy today, okay? And know that there's something that you can do about it. You can go to, I don't know if you're a Christian, then being positive and believing that God and the spirits and the angels, whatever it is, I'm not religious, so I'm probably going to sound stupid if I keep talking about it, can help you, then that creates a positive type of thought in your head. And then start pushing little by little these things away. It's not going to happen from one day to another. If you are spiritual, you believe, but you have to believe in something. You have to believe in a higher power. If you're not religious, get religious. If you're not spiritual, get spiritual. Start burning your sage, your incense, and start doing everything that you're doing. Learn about these things online. There are many websites like that tell you which crystals you should buy, what they're for, and spend the money on it, because I'm pretty sure you spend money on stupid things. You don't have to buy the biggest rocks, the most expensive one. You buy a regular size one, and they're good enough. Look at them. This is the size in my hand. I don't know if you can see it. This is the size of them in my hand. And then there are smaller ones. Find out what they're for so that you can always have the intentions in your mind. Start controlling your thoughts. Start doing things differently, and stop looking for a government agent. Now, again, this is not just something that's coming from nowhere. This is something that is coming from an individual, whether consciously or unconsciously, and you don't sit there and spend your life trying to figure out who it is. No, you're trying to spend time. You see, I bought smaller ones, and these are dark. Like, these protect you against like negative energy. So I sometimes just drop them in my bra, walk around with it. So I'm not always. And then, as you see here, I bought this little gray whatever bag, and I drop them in there. I put them in there, And I walk around with this. Sometimes in my pockets, sometimes I'm just doing this. I have it in my hand. If I go out to eat, I have it right here. Because you have to protect yourself. Now you know that these things can happen. So you don't have to walk around with this all the time. I just choose to. It's up to you. Another thing that I did, I always carry a green lime with me. And in some cultures, they would tell you that lime absorbs negative energy in the environment. So I used to walk with that in my bag. I'll put it in my dashboard, or I put one in my jacket pocket. Something else. I don't want to tell all my secrets, but you have to protect yourself. And yes, okay, so sea salt is very important. Sea salt. Take a shower. Like if you don't have time for a bath, do this as often as you want, even if you want to do it every day. I would take a shower, and after I finish bathing, showering, everything, I would pour some sea salt in a little bowl or bucket, whatever, and put some warm water. And when it melts, it could be fine, whichever sea salt, just sea salt, of course. So, once it melts, the salt, whatever, just fill it up. But make sure it's not too salty, because then you're sticky. Once you're finished bathing, once you're finished showering, you pour that on you. You turn that water off, and you just dry your skin off and go wherever you have to go. And you do that every day. And you do it as often as you want, until you start feeling better, and then you can take it easy. And then, because, it's going to take it's time for your mind to get caught up with everything else that you're doing. But then you're just going to start goofy smiling like me every day. Because it feels like spiritual warfare. It feels like you're fighting a lot of people. And when you no longer in that, you're not state of mind. And I still feel I'm trying to come sometimes when I'm talking or when I'm doing certain things. I feel it. But now I know, I identify it. I know what it is. I can see it. I'm like, this feels like what I was going through before. So then I, do whatever it is that I have to do towards, against it. All right. I know this video is kind of long, but I'm going to end now. And if you have any questions, let me know. Anybody. If I wasn't clear on something, that's okay. Just read between the lines. We're not. I just learned about these things in the last year. I didn't know about these things before. I really didn't know. I didn't even know what mental illness was. I knew what mental illness was. I didn't know the different types. I didn't know there's that many. And I didn't know that these people can act as normal as us and not be as normal as us. I didn't know about all this stuff. And I didn't know that people that have that mental power, that they can control your mental power. I thought it was TV. Even at my age, I chose to live with healthy thoughts. I didn't give much thoughts to those type of things, but they're here, so I can't avoid them now. I just protect myself against them. So start developing this type of mentality. Okay, I see you guys. Well, you guys will see me in the next video. Bye bye.